Hello, I am Christian, and this is Teamwork Cast.
This is Shepard, and Christian has made you a sausage, and I'm going to feed it to you.
And I'm Cthulhu, and I'm jealous Shepard doesn't feed me sausages.
We're gonna put all the sausages
Shepard's
into
sausages.
Yeah.
Shepard, your weapon does look like a very dangerous sausage.
Yeah, I don't think you want to eat this or have it inserted anywhere in your body.
All right,
dangerous.
so this is our Let's Play of 100 Generations, and this is a last gathering quest of HR5, right?
Yep. Yes. And it's Stone Cold Stones. It's where we're delivering 10 bloodstones. The sub-quest is Wound Zamtrios' top fin, so we know what monster we're going to see.
Zamtrios? I think the first time we see Zamtrios.
No, really?
Yeah.
At least in high rank, I think. Yep.
There was no low
It's
rank.
from the...
Fascinating.
Was it? Yeah.
I know because I hadn't had to create a thumbnail for him yet.
Oh, that's true.
Well, you would know.
Yep. It's from the female geologist. The frozen seaway beats any tropical paradise for a geologist like me. Every day brings a new discovery. Did you know it's the only place you can find bloodstones? I gotta get me some of that. Hubba, hubba, hubba.
Is bloodstone, are those romantic?
I mean, if you look at the way all of the mineral outcroppings look, I mean...
Maybe it's enough
So-
aphrodisiac.
A little polish, a little shaping.
I think we should take at least the first part of this episode. Everybody could share one of their best food tips. So we've been on a little food discussion in between takes here.
Yeah.
Who wants to
So
start?
how about you start? You had something going on here that made me hungry.
Oh, well, see, I'm conflicted because I've got two things that I want to discuss. One person asked me for risotto, which I'm not eating recently. I'm trying to stay off the carbs for at least some time. But, you know, the trick for cooking a great risotto, it's like all great things in life, it just takes time. You know, you're really infusing chicken broth into the rice, right? And that's what it is, and it takes a lot of time. You want to make sure that risotto is cooked slow with kind of like a hot chicken broth. You want a pot of warm chicken broth on the side, and you're just going to keep adding it and adding it and adding it and adding it till it's creamy. And if you're doing a mushroom risotto, you want to go ahead and make sure the mushrooms are sautéed to the side. They've released most of their liquid. They're ready to go when you put it in. And you just dump a whole hell of a lot of Parmesan cheese in it in the end when it's nice and creamy. Good, and a little bit more than al dente is the way I like it, but you can get it as like you want. I don't think many people like crunchy rice. I don't think it's like a pasta. You want to make sure it's really cooked through. The other thing that I want to talk about, and Cthulhu, I'm not sure if we talked about this on stream or not, but we're talking about chicken wings.
Oh, yeah. I think we did, like, the one day it came up last time.
Well, we'll talk about it again. A good oven-baked, crispy chicken wing, if you want to do that, like you don't want to go through the hassle of setting up a deep fryer, is using baking powder. A little bit of baking powder on your chicken wings in the oven, and you want to cook it at 250 first to really render the fat for about 20 minutes. And then you want to cook it at 450. Those wings will come out nice and crispy. Delicious. Almost as good as deep fried. They're not deep fried, so they will never be as good as deep fried, but they're almost as good. And less hassle. You don't have to worry about heating oil and burning down your kitchen.
See, I go the opposite way. I boil mine first and let them dry.
I can't understand the boiling. That sounds like a lot of work. Is it a lot of work?
Not really. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than... Well, it probably doesn't really take any much longer than yours, because after the water's boiling, it takes probably as long as it's going to take you.
All right, so you're dumping those chicken wings into a pot of boiling water.
Yes.
What, 20 minutes? 30 minutes? How long are they in there for?
It's been a while since I made it, but probably 10, 15, 20 minutes.
At a boiling water. And you're kind of like parboiling them then. And then what, you're patting them dry with paper towels?
Yeah, patting them dry, set them on a rack for, 10, 15 minutes, and then you put them in the oven on broil. And you can put the sauce on at that time if you want, or you can wait till after they're done broiling to crisp up the skin, and then you sauce it, and you're good to go.
I feel like it would be a little bit better to sauce at the very end. No?
Yeah, it depends. If you're going for like a barbecue glaze, like if you're doing like a barbecue wings, then I typically will do it before, because then does the glaze on top of the skin.
Yeah, if you're getting a lot of that sauce on there.
Yeah, versus like if you're doing like a standard like hot wing, like crisping the skin and then tossing it in with Frank's Red Hot and butter, your own hot sauce and butter afterwards.
I feel you.
It's always really good.
You guys, you just don't understand how hungry I am. But I like how we returned to the good old Teamwork Cast classics.
I'm gonna let you guys
Just talking about
beat this
food.
thing while he eats me.
Nice.
The best way to cook a shep. Just eat 'em raw.
Eat 'em raw.
Yep.
Eat 'em raw.
That's what I do all the time.
Oh god.
Raw chef.
So
Family show.
Shepard, you talked last time around. You asked me what I ate in Morocco,
Yeah, let's hear a little bit.
and so maybe that's the thing I'm going to contribute to this food talk. Is I was crestfallen when
Why's
I
that?
arrived in Morocco, and because
Well,
I was
they-
under.
they-
There's
touch your
one thing.
pepe?
There's one thing I really love about like Middle Eastern kitchen, which
Well, the
is
spices or.
the spices as well, but also I love hummus
Oh yeah, well they must have had plenty of that, right?
and I love falafel.
Yeah.
And
Well, they had a ton of that too, right?
that is not a food that is native to Morocco at all. You can get those things, but they're like foreign food the way, Italian food is foreign in Germany. You can
Wow.
get a lot of this stuff, but it's just not native food.
That's horrible.
So what the Moroccans, the traditional dishes, Moroccan dishes are tagine.
Explain. I've never heard of that term before.
It's a couscous dish with a lot of vegetables and a meat, and everything is cooked to being almost like losing any type of structural cohesion.
We're gonna gel this crap out.
Yeah, it's like it's still it's still couscous obviously stays couscous, but all the vegetables and the meat they melt away when you put them in your mouth. Wow. They cream away. They lose all consistency. And so I didn't do any the funny thing is we actually did a cooking course. I didn't do it, but my girlfriend did it and her friend. So we went actually to a cafe where they offered those courses, and they teamed up with a chef there, and they cooked for like 3-4 hours with the chef, and they cooked a tagine and various other things. And it's as you suggested, it requires a lot of patience.
time. Oh yeah.
But also the funny thing is that they also they actually went with a cook and bought the ingredients. Because it was in a so-called Medina, and Medina is basically just the center of the town, in the old town center in Morocco, and each city basically has a Medina. And so it's full with it's basically the streets are very, very narrow. You cannot actually drive a car through the streets. They're too narrow for that.
Oh no, I was trying to get the fin.
What fin? Oh, the
His
factory.
fin. Yeah, that's the subquest.
yeah.
And right as I went to attack it, I got blown up by Cthulhu.
No.
Oh, he's dead.
Well, at least we killed it. So
Oh,
what sort of
it's dead.
spices are in it? What does it taste like? What are we talking about?
Well, there's like saffron and all the stuff. I'm not familiar. My girlfriend could probably tell you exactly what kind of spices there are. They have like spices shops. But what I wanted to say is like, it's crazy. To me, that was the most shocking thing. Like going through the Medina to this super narrow streets, which are plastered with shops. Like there's no wall in this street that is not a shop. And they're selling everything next to each other. So you can buy like, cell phone charger cables next to a person who has like live chickens.
Do you think
there.
there's like a little retro gamer, little kiosk? There? Somebody
No,
selling some
like I
authentic
saw
Super
one
Nintendo
store
cards?
in the whole of Morocco that actually sold video games.
What was it next to?
it was next to a leather working shop, I think, because like there's like a bazillion of them.
I want to play some Pac-Man in a leather daddy suit.
Yeah, well, you could. That's the place to go. But that's Morocco for sure. And so they described how they went to the to the olive guy and bought the olives, and how they went to the butcher and got the lamb, and they went to the vegetable guy and bought the vegetables and stuff like that. And so one thing that we were very concerned about is because that's something that all of our how do we call it, like the books that the guides said,
like the travel guide
said, is that it's very frequent because of the, I guess, sanitary conditions to get like digestion problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So some people would view that as a digestion solution if they are having a hard time going to the bathroom.
Yeah, and so we were very afraid of, we had like hand sanitizers and everything, and don't drink the water and stuff like that. We were very afraid of this.
Well, the water does make sense. You do got to be real careful about that.
Well, that was the first country I've ever been to where this was actually a concern that was legitimately, at least suggested by the guides. And we have set up bets of who will actually go through the 2 weeks and not have a problem.
And?
I was the victor.
Did you ever end up succumbing to a digestion problem?
Not once, not a single one. Iron stomach.
Nice.
My girlfriend lost just closely. She actually lost to the German Lufthansa food on their way back.
Oh. Which, by the way, one of my favorite airlines, Lufthansa.
It's a nice airline. I love it. But the Austrian airlines on our way to Morocco had way better food.
Well, all I can say is on my previous international flight on Lufthansa, I sat next to he wasn't a large, but a very tall German man who taught me, right? So I was in the outside aisle, he was on the inside aisle. And the woman comes by, stewardess, and says, "What would you like to drink?" And I said, "Oh, I would like a beer." And like she asks him, of course, in German. I don't know how they know who's German and who's not. I guess he must tell in some way. I don't know. And he speaks to her for some time. I don't know. He speaks to her in German for some time, and she comes back and she brings my beer, which is very nice. And he gets a beer, he gets a wine, he gets champagne, he gets like Kahlua. Woman's like coming back with a platter for the guy. I make eye contact with him, and then I look at her, and I say, "Can I have the same thing?" And she's very nice. She's like, "Oh, sure, no problem." She come back. And me and this dude are just like, he speaks no English, I speak no German, just like pounding things back. It's a wonderful flight.
Shots, the universal language.
No, and it's the German airline, and of course the Germans have a very, I'm not sure if I would call it a healthy attitude towards alcohol, because alcohol is a poison and terrible for your body, but there's no shame. There is zero shame.
No, zero shame, yes.
Have as much as you want. In fact, we insist. Not only do we insist you have alcohol, we want you to have so much beer. We made our own brewery. Yeah. Lufthansa has its own brewery. You're going to get Lufthansa beer on the Lufthansa airline.
Yeah, that sounds very German thing to do. And so you could maybe understand how weird I felt in Morocco, where there is zero alcohol in the entire country.
Oh, wow.
I mean, maybe for tourists if you go to like a hotel maybe, but otherwise no alcohol in the country.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. More on that on the next episode. I hope you will join us next time around. And I wish you good luck and good hunt.
It's why I always make sure I bring a little bit of cocaine when I travel, because even if they don't have alcohol, I can just do a little bit of freebasing.
Well,
you're right.
I can tell you, like weed was not a problem.
In Morocco, isn't it illegal?
I've been offered weed it's illegal, but I've been still offered weed numerous times on the streets.
In Morocco?
In Morocco, yes.
Huh. It must be one of those, drugs, but not a drug.
Well,
You got to be careful. Some of those places, they'll lock you up and cut your hands off.
Yeah, so that's why I always say no, thank you, goodbye.
Is this a trap? Is this a honeypot?
Yeah.
You wait for me to get high, and then you're going to throw me in jail?
If you're a policeman, you have to say it, right?
Yeah, you got to say it, right? You got to kiss me first.
Okay,
Kiss me. Kiss me and I'll take your weed.
Kiss me anyway.
Kiss me. Just kiss me. I don't want any weed. I'm so alone.
Oh, you know my shickadim.
Squatty Potty, kiss me. Kiss me where the sun don't shine. Brought to you by Squatty Potty. Keep bouncing off those horns? Squatty Potty's like a mind's eye oil for your anus. Brought to you by Squatty Potty.